Welcome back into another new session with me, Geetu. So today, what is the topic that we are going to be learning and looking into? So today we will be discussing the third form of business organization, that is called partnership. Now, we have completed who is a sole proprietor, the merits, the demerits and features of sole proprietor. We've also looked into joint Hindu family, where we have discussed about Karta, the co-partners, the features and the merits and demerits of joint Hindu family. So today we will be looking into partnership. Previously, I have already told you in this topic called partnership, we will be looking into meanings, features, merits and demerits. But along with these topics, we will also look into the types of partners. Yes, this particular topic is a very important topic in terms of scoring for your marks as well. So let's not waste much of our time, we'll directly get into the session. So what is partnership or who is a partner? A partner or a partnership deal is governed by the Indian Partnership Act of 1932. So the government has passed a law and is legalized by the government, telling that this particular form of business is registered and can legally take place. So two or more people coming together, agreeing to form this kind of business to share profits and losses together in the agreed ratios. So probably, let's take for example, you have Ravi and you have, let's say you have Ravi and you have Ramu here. Ravi and Ramu are one person. So two people are coming together as one and they are agreeing to continue a business or do a business. This business, what they are continuing to do is they can do any business they want as per whatever the government laws are. They can even run a shop, they can even run a private sector company, whatever is it, they can carry out the business. But they are agreeing to share the ratio. So Ramu is bringing around 1 lakh, Ravi is bringing around 1 lakh. So whatever is the ratio of capital they are bringing in, they agree to share the profits and losses in the ratio of whatever money they are investing. So two or more people, 2 means it is minimum 2, maximum it can go up to 200 also. So two or more people coming together, agreeing to share the profits and losses and continue the business is what is called as partnership. Yes, this is the meaning. So it is governed by the Indian Partnership Act of 1932. It is a relationship which is between two or more persons who have agreed to share the profits and losses of the business, and it is an agreement where one person will continue the business or both of them will join together and they will do a business. So they are agreeing to share all the profits and losses in this particular business. So as I've already told you, you have features, you have merits and demerits for every single form of organization. So now let's move into the features. You know the first point under the features, now that you've learned sole proprietor, we've learned joint in the family, we know in partnership the first one will be formation. Yes, so formation means what? It's governed by the Indian Partnership Act of 1932. So it is a legal agreement where both these people are coming together, they are signing the legal document, they're getting it registered in the government and they're continuing their business. So there's no very big legal formalities and all required for you to run this kind of partnership or form of business. But you need to agree, there should be an agreement document where they are saying Ravi has invested so much money, he's agreed to share so much of losses, so much of profits. Ram has invested so much capital, he has agreed to share so much profits, so much losses. So that is what, that's how the business is going to start, because it's a legal agreement what they need to do before they can start off the organization or business. Now the second one is risk bearing. Now risk bearing has advantage, reason because before in sole proprietor we could see there was only one single person was bearing all the risk, and because of that the business was closing down. But when it comes to partnership, the risk is shared between two or more people. So what is happening? The risk factor is little less and they are sharing profits also together, they are sharing losses also together. So which is much more advantageous for the partnership deal. Now, what is the reason for them to start off the partnership deal? You know, in a sole proprietor, what happens? It's a single person who's running the entire business, because of which there's a lot of burden on the sole proprietor, making the business close down. Joint Hindu family, it's a Hindu business, it's a Hindu family tradition business that they started. So not much of them would start such kind of businesses. So that also is slowly closing down. So that is the reason, because of these two, a lot of disadvantages in a sole proprietor and joint in the family has given birth to partnership. Okay, so most of the people who are doing businesses nowadays are all entering into the contract of partnership and they're doing their business. So the risk bearing, they agree to share their losses and profits together in the agreed ratio in whatever they have agreed. Now the third one is decision making and control. Decision making, both the partners Ravi and Ramu has agreed to start the business. Both of them have agreed that every day they're going to come, they're going to do the work, and they're ensuring that their business is going to flourish. They're putting in their efforts. So what is it? The decision making will also be mutual. So if Ravi tells something, if Ramu feels it's not right, he will tell Ravi, I don't think this decision should be this way, I think it should be this way. So what is a mutual consent? People are asking, they're speaking to each other, they're communicating to each other and finding out what they feel is right and what they feel is wrong. So there is mutual consent, and based on that the controlling is also done. So probably Ravi will say, I'm good in finance, I'll take care of the financial activity. Ramu will say, I'm good in marketing, I will take care of marketing activity. So depending on that, they will start their business or they will venture out their business. So there is a lot of decision making which they will do, and there is a lot of controlling that they can also do. Then the next one is continuity. What is happening in continuity? Example, let's say Ravi dies. Is this kind of business going to start or continue? Now, anytime when there is death, when there is sickness, when there is any problems in the business where the partners cannot continue the business, what happens is, if they want, they can close this partnership deal, because the one of the partners is dead or sick or whatever it is. They can start a new partnership deal, and if they know someone who wants to join in as a partner, that person can join in as a partner and you can start a new partnership deal with the same whatever business you were doing. It's just that you need a new paper document, that is all. Okay, so what is happening? The death, the sickness, all these ailments and all will not affect this particular partnership deal. Reason, because you can just form a new, like example I'll tell you. You have Ravi, you have Ramu, you have Sita and you have Meena. All these people are 4 partners. Let's say Ravi dies. Now you only have 3 partners. Now what happens to this? It's the same 3 partners, but just that one is missing. So what happens? They will again create a new paper document in the name of these 3 people, and the profits and losses also ratios will be revised, the percentage will be revised, and then they will continue the same business. That is what is meaning by continuity. You need a new agreement to continue your old business, or probably you can include another new person into your business. Yes? So moving on to the next one. Number of partners. You can include minimum of 2 people and maximum of 200 people into this partnership deal. For a 1 marker, they'll ask you what's the minimum and what's the maximum for a partnership deal. Minimum is 2, maximum goes to 200. Okay, so that is the number of people you can include in a partnership business, and you can start your business. So depending, now example I'll tell you, another example I'll tell you. Now Ravi is there, Ramu is there. Ravi is invested 50,000 of capital. Ramu is invested 2 lakhs of capital. Now tell me who will share more profit and who will share more loss. Definitely it's going to be Ramu. Why? Because he is invested 2 lakhs. And here he is invested 50,000. So the percentage of shares of profits and losses will depend on the amount of capital you have invested into your business. So every partner, whoever is coming into this particular form of business, coming into this form of partnership deal, they will invest how much over they want. So depending on that, they will actively take part. Like example, Ravi will tell you, I've invested 50,000. I'm having so much of my other businesses that I have to handle. Ramu, why don't you take over the entire business? You manage it. If you want any help, let me know. I'll pitch in. So what is happening here? He has invested his money, but Ramu is taking care of the entire business. So that is also there. That we would come into types of partnership. partners. Okay, so number of partners, minimum is 2, maximum is 200. Then liability. What liability do you think they'll all share? Definitely, they'll all share unlimited liability. Okay, it's not like joint in the family, sole proprietor. Sole proprietor shares unlimited liability. Joint in the family, Karta has what? Unlimited liability. Co-partners have limited liability. In partnership deal, everybody has unlimited liability. That means what? Their business assets and their personal assets will be sold in case there is a loss, and they can enjoy everything that they earn. Maximum profits. Along with profits, they have to take a lot of risk for their loss as well. Okay, so these are the points for your features of partnership. Now moving down into the merits, the same few of these points you see would repeat into the merits of partnership. Now what are the merits? The first one speaks about ease of formation. How easy it is to form this particular form of business organization. There is not much of registration and documents that needs to be submitted, and not much of paperwork that they need to do. It's just an agreement paper that they need to submit telling that the profit sharing ratios and all that, and based on that they can start this kind of business organization. So it is not very complicated. The second one is balanced decision making. Now what happens here? Everybody is expertise in one or the other area. Like example, you have 4 partners here, Ravi, Ramu, Sita and Meena. Ravi expertises in finance, Ramu expertises in marketing, Sita expertises, let's say, in procurement, production. Then Meena expertises in, let's say, what do I say? Let's say, for example, in some other thing she expertises. Okay, so what is happening here? Everybody become leaders in their own activities and they handle the business. So what is happening here? There is balanced decision making because they are all expertise, they all have experience, and they all have their own knowledge and skill which can help this partnership deal to move on. Okay, then more funds. How come there's more funds when compared to sole proprietors? Sole proprietor is only 1, joint in the family is only 3 people. So what is happening? It's only inheritance of their property, the generation property in joint in the family. But in partnership deal, everybody who comes and joins as a partner has to invest a lot of capital into the organization. So because they have to invest a lot of funds, money into the organization, this organization can grow. But again in disadvantage, the same point, this point becomes a reverse disadvantage there. Why? Because up to certain, if you want to become a joint stock company, you cannot become a joint stock company. Your business probably is excellent, you're doing excellently well. You want to grow because you have people below you, you are expertise, you have a lot of knowledge and all this. But still what happens? There you need to have more people and you need more money to let's say advance your business, which you can lack. So again the same point here becomes a disadvantage there. So when you speak for advantage, when compared to sole proprietor and joint in the family, those partners who are joining the organization has to invest a lot of capital into the business. That capital helps to run the business and ensure that profits are earned. Now sharing the risk. What is happening here? When it comes to sole proprietor, he is a single person. When it comes to joint in the family, Karta bears all the risk. But when it comes to partnership, as per the agreed capital, whatever they are investing, depending on that, everybody has to share a part of risk. So let's say here Meena has invested capital, Ravi is invested capital. Both these partners are not bothered to do any work. They say we have other businesses to handle. You all wanted money, I've given the money. This is the profits what I'll share, this is the losses I will share. That doesn't mean that when there is a loss, they will not share the loss. They're equally going to share maximum amount of losses in the business, like how the other partners are bearing the loss. Why? Because they are also the partner. So it doesn't mean that even if one partner is not coming, they are not working, they are not doing the job, they will not share the loss. Definitely they are liable to share all the losses and take all the risks. So the burden and the anxiety and the struggles of other partners are getting reduced because these people are also sharing all their risk and their burden. Now the next point is secrecy. What is secrecy? Secrecy is nothing but maintaining secrets, whatever your business is earning, whatever profits, whatever losses, your publishing of your financial statements, your balance sheets. Now, you all may not know what am I talking about. What I'm saying is every organization, every form of business, they have to, they'll have their profit and loss account of how much profits they are earning, how much loss they are earning. They all have to incur all this, and it has to be submitted to the government. Now, what is happening, if it is a very big organization like a joint stock company, they have to publish these reports. They have to type everything, send it to the government and send it to their shareholders also, telling this is what my company is earning. Okay, but in case of a partnership deal, there's no need for you to publish your financial reports anywhere. So whatever secrets you can maintain your secrets. If example, there is one type of partner called a secret partner. It's a type of partner. He will invest capital, he will share profits, he will share losses, but the other members will not know that this particular partner is a part of this particular organization. Why? His identity is kept secret in the organization and to others. So this particular form of business organization can maintain their secrets. There is no need for them to publish their financial reports to anyone and justify this is the amount of profits and losses we are earning. Yes? Okay, now we move on to the demerits of partnership. The same points here and few points from here will become the demerits. Okay, so it's easy for you to remember. I'll tell you a knack how you can learn this chapter. Like this, how I've written points, you can make only the points for this. So example, we are talking about partnership. I'll take a A4 size sheet paper. I will turn the paper like this. I write features, merits, demerits, only points. Okay, so above that I will write for joint in the family, features, merits, demerits. Then sole proprietor, features, merits, demerits, only the points. So when I'm studying what happens, I know that okay, these are the points which comes common in sole proprietor, same points come in joint in the family, same points come in partnership. So my mind can again remember, my mind will not forget, and the points I can learn it that way. Depending on the points, I can give my explanation. Yes, so this is one of the knack what you can actually follow. So probably once I complete cooperative societies and joint stock company, you can do what I am telling you. So coming down to the demerits of partnership. The first one is limited resources. I have already told you this limited resources is repeated in what? In both the topics I've taught you, that's sole proprietor as well as joint Hindu family. Resources refers to four words: raw materials, technology, finance and human resources. Human resources refers to employees, lack of employees. Finance refers to if you want to expand your business. Then raw materials refer to if you want to buy more raw materials to produce more, you need a lot of machinery and all that. So all this is limited resources. Why? Because how many other members are there in your particular, let's say in your partnership deal, depending on that only you can actually do this, you can expand your business. You cannot expand your business more than that because your resources are limited. The second one is unlimited liability. So what is happening here? You are investing your capital. Based on the capital that you are investing, you have to incur profit, you have to incur loss. But what is the liability you're sharing? Probably you may be a partner who has invested your money there and you are doing your business somewhere else, and these people are managing everything. But when it comes to sharing the loss, even if you are not a part of that, just because you're a partner, your invested money, you have unlimited liability where your business assets and your personal assets are taken by them. So it is a major disadvantage in this kind of partnership deal. That is unlimited liability. That means what? Personal assets and your business assets will be sold in case there is a loss. Okay. Now the third one is possibility of conflict. You know, when two or more people are there, if you have the same mindset and same positive sense, you will ensure to work together. But what if there are one or two people in this particular partnership deal who keep arguing and they don't like the decisions that you are taking? what happens? This arises to conflicts and fights and confusions between them, which may be the main reason for them to close down the business, or probably you should ask them to leave. And what if they are not ready to leave this particular form of organization? So you have to ensure that whoever are joining as partners, you have to ask them to have the same mindset, and whatever ideas they have, you need to see whether it is a really good thing and whether you can advise them, and they need to take it in the right kind of sense. If not, there is a possibility that it may lead to a lot of conflicts, or probably one partner will say all the time, I'm the one who's struggling for the entire business, and the remaining partners are really cool. So all these things will lead to conflict, which you need to sort out when you are doing the agreement of the partnership deal. That time itself you need to sort out who's going to do what, and you need to advise and take proper decisions. Next one is lack of continuity. What is this continuity? This point we have already seen here in your features. Okay, what have I told you? In case there's a death, there's sickness, there's ailments the partners are facing, anytime you can close down this old agreement and you can start a new agreement. But what if you do not get the correct right amount of people or right mindset of people for you to continue this form of business? It leads to the close down of this partnership deal. Okay, so that usually will not happen, because you always have to find the same mindset of people, because mindset of people is very important. If you think differently, I think differently, and I've invested my money here and it's only someone else who's working for it, it becomes very difficult for them to manage this kind of business. So lack of continuity refers to very soon the business may close in case there is death, in case there is sickness or ailments that the people are facing. Then the last one is lack of public confidence. If you see, there are in L, okay, in disadvantages, there's another knack for you to learn. You have L3 you can put it as, in your disadvantages you can put it as L3P. So you have 3 points which are starting with L, limited resources, lack of continuity, lack of public confidence, and only 1 point which is starting with P, that is possibility of conflict. So you can keep short forms like this to learn the particular answer, that is points, and you can explain it by your own words. Now what is lack of public confidence? Public confidence is nothing but they are worried, or they are scared, or they can maintain a lot of secrets, right? Because they don't have to publish their financial reports anywhere. So what if they're keeping everything so confidential that they don't want to publish their reports anywhere, and because of that they don't tell the true financial status to anyone? Probably they are undergoing a massive loss, but they don't want to share to anyone, telling that we are undergoing a massive loss, and they are including more and more partners. They are calling and asking them to join their business, and they are showing fake reports, fake financial statements they are showing. So all this is nothing but lack of public confidence. Why? Because they don't have a compulsion that they have to publish their reports to anyone. So because of that, they can also cheat the outside public by showing fake reports. So any doubts you have, any questions you have, please leave a comment in the comment section, and please like and subscribe. So coming down to the marks in this particular topic, the marks is the Indian Partnership Act would come for a 2 marker. That's the meaning of this particular topic, would come for a 2 marker. The features of this Partnership Act or deal would come for a 4 marker. And you have the merits and demerits. Again, the merits would come as a 4 marker, the demerits would come as a 4 marker. So please ensure you're studying this particular topic. Now the next session I would be teaching you types of partners. So please ensure you're staying tuned to listen. Okay, any doubts, let me know. Thank you.